Time you're watching this. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to KetoMom. My name is Stephanie. This is my amazing husband, Steve. He's amazing.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
And we're going through the book, The Power to Change. I'm actually really excited about this chapter because I read it and I went, oh my goodness, that makes total sense. I actually just talked about this same concept with our team last night on a team Zoom. So I'm super excited for the topic. So here is the title of the chapter, Your Habits and a Plot Twist.
So maybe some of you who just heard that and you're like, Team Zoom, what does that even mean? Did you know that you could actually work alongside Stephanie? You can. All you have to do is just send her a message about joining her team.
Yeah. All right. All right, so as you're tuning in, tell us where you're tuning in from.
Yep.
If you have the book, awesome. If you don't, you can always follow along here. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com, click on mindfulness. You can go through all of the last chapters that we've been going through. So we are on chapter 2.4, and he says, what do you most need to do to have what you most want? And so I'm really excited for this concept, but I'll tell you this. We need to celebrate my husband real quick because he just did 100 push-ups. If you've been tuning in, he's doing a crazy cool 100 push-up challenge, and today was the hardest day, and he's celebrating because he did it, right?
Woohoo!
I think that's super cool.
Thanks.
You've consistently done the action, and what we're going to talk about today is what you're doing is you celebrate every day the actual action, not the initial I did 100 in a row, but what we're going to talk about today is celebrating the wins in your day.
We can celebrate the explosive growth on Friday once I retest.
Oh, okay.
I still got this on Friday. 2 more days to get through.
All right. Okay. What do you most need to stop doing to have what you most want? So here we are going to learn how to start and stop habits. That is the point of this chapter, which I'm super excited about. You may want to choose one. So he said, you can choose a lot. I think people get overwhelmed. We're going to choose one thing that you're going to start doing, one thing that you're going to stop doing. We talked about your identity. We talked about discipline. And then today we're going to talk about something to give you a different mindset. Here's what happens, Steve. And he knows this because he hears me talking to you guys a lot, lots of people all day long. And what happens is I usually get messages that people say, it's been 2 weeks and I haven't hit my goal. It's been 5 days and I haven't lost anything, right? And we have this mindset of, I want to lose 50 pounds tomorrow. Right. I want to lose, and really the amount of people that I hear from that need to lose 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds is quite a bit, and they want it overnight. And oftentimes when you're looking at other people, especially in social media, what happens? You compare yourself to them. You don't see the daily disciplines they do. You don't see the things they do in private to get to where they are today. We want what we want, and it's a big goal. And if I say this to people, it may take you a year. They usually get frustrated and then they quit.
Yeah, but think about how many years of unhealthy decisions,
right,
and disciplines and habits,
right,
that were being done to get to the place to where they are today.
Right. I usually say you didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get there overnight. And so when I read this chapter, I went, oh, that's good. He gives you a whole bunch of stories. So he gives you a goal of like getting closer to God, getting out of debt. He talks about having a better marriage. He gives you a habit to start and a habit to stop. So there's a whole bunch. That's why I would say grab the book, because it gives you a ton of stories. Steve says I highlight the entire book. I do, but I'm only going to read certain things to you. So he says, we should train by asserting the strategic habits we need to start and stop. What can we do to move little by little towards that win? We then need the discipline to do these little things, to choose what we most need over what we most want. So does that make sense?
Yeah,
that didn't really make sense.
I was reading the comments. Blah. You want to try again?
You want to try?
Which underline?
Well, so we already talked about this the other day. You win when you make doing your habits your win. Okay, I'm so sorry. I gave away the key for this whole entire chapter. Sorry,
okay,
you're reading the comments.
Well, that's how you work, though. You just very direct.
I am.
So I saw a guy's shirt at the gym the other day, and it said, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
And it made me think,
just part of social media.
Well, it made me think in your life, like, who are you comparing your life to?
Right.
How is that actually stealing your joy? And in the day, are there things that you can celebrate? Like, I missed the name, but a lady had said that she's gonna look at. This is what happens at 9:26.
We have a package at the door.
So, what was I talking about?
The
lady on, I missed the name, but the comment was, I'm going to stop sneaking, and I couldn't read what it was, but I'm going to start drinking more water. So the biggest thing that I want to celebrate in that comment that I just read was the fact that there is now an awareness,
right,
that something can be improved.
Right.
So it's interesting, as I'm listening to podcasts and as we're having conversations with people at the gym and in life and just as we live, I keep hearing the word trying
Right.
every single place. I keep hearing it. And like, I keep encouraging our girls. I'm like, girls, if you could understand just this one simple word, if you could eliminate the concept of I'm not trying, but I'm training, and how does that change the output of everything that you do?
It's a big deal.
And when you can start identifying the who you are before you do the action,
Right.
because we talk a lot about action. And last night we had I felt like it was a somewhat serious conversation about like what I'm just noticing in people's habits is just this information overload.
Oh yeah.
They just keep thinking they need to keep getting all of this knowledge and all of these thoughts
I need
and all
more
of these
how-tos.
things.
How do I eat? Tell me about keto. Give me all of the tips. Like it's like always.
And maybe it's because I hear Stephanie answer questions every day and she's legitimately talking to thousands of people. What makes me think, though, is you know exactly what you need to do, but you need to identify who you are first.
Right.
And when you know who you are, you know what to do.
Good.
So we just want to encourage you that your habits do matter, that the actions you do take, they really do matter
Right.
in where you end up in life, and your habits can help you win. So
Right.
have you identified those? So the lady who left the comment, I say that long rant just to say this. She has become aware. Awareness is so important.
Right.
It's legitimately the one thing our family focused on last year was having
our word of the
an
year.
awareness.
Yeah.
And now we're tying the word trying to the awareness. So I hope that this has been helpful so far.
Well, and if you've been here for any point in time, you should have an awareness on lots of things. It's exactly what Steve said. You know what to do. Now it's putting in the action. So he gives a ton of examples, but the whole chapter is about this one phrase. And I'm going to share with you what we talked about with my team last night. He goes, I'm going to give you a plot twist. And he goes, you win when you make doing your habits your win. So yesterday on our team Zoom last night, we talked about doing your DMOs. It's your daily method of operation, your daily method of opportunity. What do you do every single day? It's the choices that you make to get you to where you want to be in 1 year. Let's say that you have some fat loss goals, some health goals. And if I were to say, listen, your day in and your day out is most important. You might not see the scale move like you want it to, but give that. If you celebrate every single day as a win versus I will only win when I reach that goal at the end of the year, you will have success every day. That's what he's saying. He goes, sometimes people look at, he gave an example of getting out of debt. He's like, I want to pay $20,000 of debt. And he goes, he calculated it out, how much you pay off, and it would take you like 5 years, right? He goes, people get so frustrated, they just give up because that 5-year goal is overwhelming. But if you celebrated every day that you didn't go through the Starbucks line, right? If you didn't go to Target, if you only bought what was on your list, same with your fat loss goals. If you're like, I want to lose 50 pounds, but in 2 weeks you get frustrated, you need to be celebrating the daily win. So our team, we talked about this last night. What are you doing every day to build your business? And that's what you celebrate. You celebrated the posts that you made, the conversations that you had. It's almost like when you're in kindergarten and you're celebrating the little things you're learning and you get those little gold stars, right? Like, what if you gave yourself a gold star at the end of every day because you chose great on your meals, you went to the gym, that's a daily win. You drank your water, that's a daily win. Little things like that, that is a win instead of I reached the 50 pounds. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it actually does. And I think as a society, we don't celebrate it in a healthy way.
Right.
Because we typically celebrate with sugar or some kind of a dessert, or it seems like every party is always tied around like,
with a food.
What's the dessert? So I was even thinking like, thank you for the kind words that you said about me at the very beginning. But what did I do? Like, here was my response. Woohoo. Like, did that?
But you were so excited. You came out and you were like, I'm going to go do this really hard push-up thing. I'll be back in a couple minutes. And so I was excited that you did it.
Yeah, it was 12 minutes of dynamic, explosive stretching.
Yeah, but you did it. So that is a daily win because you don't get to the 100 push-ups. You've got to do the daily wins until you get there.
So I see a comment that's on, it's flowing on a lot of different streams right here. So it doesn't even say who the person is, but basically, like I read through the comment, and it's about kind of building up. Like, I'm going to eat healthy for 1 day this week, and then I'll eat healthy for 2 days next week.
Yeah.
And it's like slowly progressing into it. It's kind of like a form of habit stacking is how I see it. And it seems like there's a deep seated why that this lady wants to eat that certain way. And I just want to encourage you, like, as we've been going through this book, our hope is that you've written down some things that you want to start, that you've written down some things that you want to stop. But the most important thing is writing down why it is that you want to even start or stop any of those habits.
Right.
Because if you haven't identified that, we'll see. I'll keep you posted on a story. I'm not going to name names, but there's somebody who's rather close to me and was using the word trying a lot and is basically like a week behind and probably along the line the same category of what I'm going after. And I just want to see the difference between, I don't want to say that I'm better, but I'm saying that this mindset shift
right?
is a lot different, because what I'm seeing my friend do is what I've been doing for 18 years and it's never worked. It's the difference between who before the do and behavior modification. So I'll keep you posted on that story.
I don't even know that story.
I know.
I love it.
I keep some things close to the vest of like, I'm not going to, and you just never know who's watching.
Right.
So
right.
This is not the place to tear people down. It's just to build people
right.
up.
Well, okay. So basically, and he says it again like this. He goes, but if you focus on your win more often than not, you will feel like you're losing. If you focus on your habit, you can win every day. So that is the concept. That's the plot twist. That's the idea. He gives a ton of stories. We're not going to read them to you. We're honestly just going to give you the action for today. Because I think this is a really easy one to explain. Like, if you can celebrate daily with little golden stars, or give yourself a high five, send your friend a message, send me a message and go, today I won. Today I did this, this, and this. I'm going to celebrate today. I'm not going to celebrate with a cupcake, but I'm going to celebrate by giving myself a check mark, right? I'm going to celebrate
this would be helpful for us. Is collaboration is currency. So if you have ideas of how you can celebrate those small victories, I'd love to see you post those down below and help the rest of the community. Like, what are some things that you can do to celebrate some of those small wins? What does it look like in your life?
So your action step today is you're going to write out the goal that you're working towards. So he said, get closer to God. Habit to start, read the Bible every day or attend a small group study. Habit to stop, hitting snooze in the morning or planning things on the weekend that prevent me from going to church. So that's what
it's interesting that he's bringing it. It's a daily habit.
Right. The daily habit. So
because do you think there's more power in consistency than like the big wham bam did it one time thing?
So like we were to say, if you had to write down one goal, you would write down, what daily habit am I going to start today? Mm-hmm. And what daily habit do I need to stop?
That's good.
So daily, pack my lunch. Daily, have my water bottle with me and drink 6 of these. That's a celebration, right? I'm going to stop. I don't know. What would you stop?
Heather said one way to celebrate is a family experience, like a family trip.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Which a lot of people actually ask questions like, how can I do this as a family? I get that question often. How do I help my kids eat healthier without giving them a complex, especially daughters, right? Yeah. Which we have 4 daughters. And so that is something fun you can do, is helping your kids get healthy with you. You don't have to use the word fat. You don't have to use the word diet. But if you're doing it with your kids, you can go, hey, at the end of the year, when we all do this consistently, we will go wherever you want to go. Go to the beach.
Go to the beach. Go into Lake Como.
I don't know.
Here we go.
Where you want to go. So that was your action step for today. Make doing your habits your win. You don't have to win here's the last thing that he said too. You don't have to win every day to win. He says oftentimes people get frustrated, and I skipped that part because he goes, well, I underlined a lot of it.
It's
right?
fine. She's coming back.
Well, he
it's
goes,
all going to make sense.
The world won't end if you miss a day. Don't judge yourself. If you miss today, just start back up tomorrow.
Right.
We like to say the only way you fail is if you quit. If you decide to quit, yep, for sure, you failed. I mean, some people don't like that. Some people think everybody's a winner. We've helped our children realize that in sports. We don't need to talk about that. Not everybody gets a trophy, right?
No. I think that's a beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Like,
wait, you think it's beautiful that everybody gets a trophy?
No, I don't. What you said
that people fail.
People. That's just the reality.
Right.
Like, sometimes you have to do hard things. It's no different than thinking that we can just print a whole bunch of money.
Oh,
and then
yep.
You know why prices are the way that they are. Inflation's a real thing, like it or not. But at the end of the day, if you give everybody a trophy, it's like printing all of this money. Like, there are choices, there are consequences to certain actions. So you're right on. Like, I'm not saying we have to go back to like my grandparents' day, but like, they worked hard.
They did work hard.
They
went through some of the hardest times probably in life.
And I don't know if it's because of phones. I don't know if it's because our society has just gotten softer. But the reality is, like, I think this is a moment for us all to stand up.
Are you saying
take ownership.
They can be a loser? It's true.
Don't quit. Like, don't quit on your dreams. Don't quit on your goals.
If you have a bad day, you can get back up.
I love that. Roxanne, you are going to walk 45 minutes a day, and eventually that will turn into running.
I love that.
So answer the question, why?
What are you going to stop then, Roxanne, so you fit that into your day? So one of the key things is he's like, what are you going to start daily? What do you have to stop to get so that you do that? You could call it your DMO. We talk about that in business, but this is your DMO of your life, your daily method of opportunity. Your things you're doing every day to move you forward that you can celebrate so that at the end of the year, you hit your goal, because it very well could take you a year to hit the goal that you want to achieve. And if you think about it in the big year, you're like, a year, remember, you didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get there overnight. We're going to celebrate your daily wins, not the big ultimate result. And then if you fail one day, if you slip up one day, if you forget one day, if life happens, then you get back up and you keep going.
It's really good. So I'm not a huge proponent of multitasking, probably because I'm not very good at it, but there are probably some things that you could find yourself. It's like good things. Like, I would say for those of you who are tuning in and watching this live, or if you are watching the replay and you're encouraged by Stephanie, it also takes some time. I don't know if you're taking notes. I don't know how dedicated and how focused you are as you're tuning in and watching this, but this is something that could be done, listened to, while you're on the treadmill.
Right.
This could be something that you could be outside walking around. Unfortunately, probably not in Minnesota unless you want to get frostbite.
We're about to get a foot of snow.
Point being is, there are probably, like how Steffi said, Roxanne, if you're going to knock out this 45 minutes of walking and running, like, you're probably going to have to stop something or change something in your schedule to make it happen. Or maybe you can kind of look for ways that you can combine activities to become even more effective in your time management.
I'm going to give everybody one little hint that probably will save you a lot of time. Figure out how much time you sit on your phone just swiping, and that time can be replaced with whatever you want to actually do.
It's really good. Oh.
Amelia says, if you think you're going to sit down and just swipe, head up to the treadmill and swipe. Is that what she said? Yeah, it's good. Or outside for a walk. So, all right. I hope this encouraged you. I actually think that was my favorite chapter. I like the do. I like, tell me what to do. See, right?
But you've been rooted in behavior modification quite a bit.
Yes. And I also come from a family of doers. So sure. I was raised by parents that just did stuff all the time. So it wasn't even an option to sit.
But it'd be fascinating to find out, like, with your family, because they are such hard workers and doers, like, what caused them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's, just so you know, like, if you've got somebody in your life that's like that, it's because they're driven by something.
Well, my dad is driven by success, but he also is such a caring person that he's just always a doer. Mm-hmm. He never sits in front of a football game. I don't know if any time he sits down to watch TV, he's just a work do something with your hands. I'm going to go work.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what drives that. Really what drives that.
So, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Your presence matters.
Yep.
We love it when you comment below. We'd love it if you press the share button. Sharing is caring.
I appreciate all the comments. It's helpful for us.
I think it's great. I love to see people's of what you're working on. So continue to tune in. As always, you can go to ketomomsecrets.com, click on book club, recipes, how to get started. You can click on trials, grab some ketones. If you want to know more about my team and what I do, you can post opportunity below. I'd love to chat with you more about that.
Send her a message.
Yeah, I'd love to get to know you more. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.